Welcome to another edition of another college football convo with Stanford Steve. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
Honor to be here. Stanford Steve, what are the storylines of the weekend, brother?
Let's go to where we're going to be at. Gumpy's squad is hosting game day, Pat, so buckle up. I see he's got no sleeves on already, and it's early on Wednesday in the week. I can't wait to see what he brings.
Gonna be hot down
this week.
Gonna be hot.
I see rain. I think we might need a slicker. I mean, your rain slicker.
Well, it's Miami, right? We always have rain.
Always.
Yeah,
always.
okay.
Hurricane season.
Game will be delayed.
Oh, it's going to be so thick. I'm going to sweat. I'm going to be broiling in there from the inside and the outside.
So
and
humid.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Steve. It's going to be great. We're pumped to be going.
Of course.
Okay, pumped to be going down to Miami. A lot of legends from the U. Obviously, can't wait to pay tribute and respect to the university. And I think our setup's going to be sick. Like, I think it is going to be a nasty setup down there. With that being said, it is early in the season to be that south.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that is the south as you can get. It is going to be the thick 86, 400% humidity. It says 76% to who? Maybe the locals. To me, that's going to be 150%. And then the next one, 85% humidity there. That's at night.
Beautiful.
That might as well be 130% humidity. 77 is going to feel like what? 120.
Yeah.
And hydrate because you're going to sweat your ass off. With that being said, it'll be worth every drip.
Amen.
Cannot wait to say that I've been to the U. I cannot wait to get down there. And I'll tell you, I think because it's two Florida teams, a lot of people wondering why the hell would you go to that when there's other options. It's like I think that the Florida series this year has drawn more hype. And obviously Miami gets the host one. I think that potentially went into it. Although Indiana is about 45 minutes south of here.
That's true.
Hey, and they are certainly taking on a good Illinois team.
Yeah.
And that would have been an electrifying environment like it was last year. Why do you think this game was the College Game Day show? You and I both have no say in where it goes. I think we should be very, very clear about that because that is the truth. But why do you think this was the game that we chose to go to, and what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's the storylines, Pat. You mentioned, maybe some of the biggest hype quarterback coming in the SEC was DJ Lagway with the stars that were attached to his name coming out. Him having success at the end of last year. It sounded like they saved Billy Napier's job. But again, when the schedule comes out, you see you're about to get your teeth kicked in with what you have to do. Knowing that they play these kind of out-of-conference games. They still got Florida State later in the year in their rivalry game. So I look at Florida as the biggest story, knowing how much people want to talk about coaches and hot seat and all that. But on the other side, that's the story for me. I believe Miami's the best team in the country. They're playing that way. The defense is insane. Carson Beck looks as comfortable as any quarterback in the country when you watch him. And my biggest question for the U, I think I said it last week, how are they going to replace their top 6 pass catchers from last year, along with a quarterback that comes in with no spring ball, limited summertime, had the surgery on the elbow. We were there in the SEC championship last year. So that's what the question was. And, man, they've hit the ground running. They look fantastic. The speed and the physicality on defense is crazy to me. And back against the wall, this is what we want. I mean, D-Butt, we talked about it last week.
Yep.
South Florida against Miami. How many guys know each other? This is even more so because this was guys taking each other's spots. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to go the other place, or screw that. I'm going to go there and start over you. We got it all here. I just think Miami should be ranked higher. I don't know about you guys.
Florida-Miami, big-time rivalry, or just because they're Florida State's always going to be a rivalry? And what Steve just said there, a pretty accurate statement about, these guys are getting offered to both these places and picking and choosing.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes to the recruits, when it comes to the athletes, I would say more so of a rivalry in Florida is Florida State. Miami, that's definitely a much bigger rivalry. But with this matchup, Steve, how does the UF secondary and the UF defense match up with all these weapons and how Beck is playing the weapons on the outside, the running back? How do they match up? I know, when you throw 5 picks like Lagway did, that's a bad spot for any defense to be in. But how does this defense match up man for man across this Miami offense?
That's the teller. I mean, because you go back, as bad as it was, 5 picks he throws, right? That Florida defense hung in there, and they got Caleb Banks last week, but then he left later in the game. They only gave up 1 touchdown. Lagway threw 5 picks, and Florida hung in there in what I consider the toughest environment to play in college football. So I believe Florida has the goods. I mean, you go up against LSU for 4 quarters, and you keep going on. I mean, those sudden changes get old, man. You don't even sit down, and your quarterback's throwing a pick. But I believe Florida has the goods. I just worry about their consistency on offense. That's what it comes down to me. They can't run the run the ball consistently, and that's Napier's offense because everything is set up off the play action. And then, again, the same mistakes. They had an 87-yard touchdown called back because of a penalty. You can't have those things when you're playing on the road, and especially when your coach is on the hot seat like Napier. So Florida has to be more buttoned up if they're going to compete in this game.
Yeah, they have shot themselves in the foot the last 2 weeks. Like, they could have won both those games. They only lost by 10 with 5 interceptions, and they had penalties again. USF was penalties and mistakes in the red zones, fumbles, turnovers, things like that, snap over the head for a safety. Like, Florida, they could be fine, but now they're not, and the spread here is 7.5, and the numbers aren't out yet on where the public money is yet, but I assume, I don't know, 98% is probably going to be on Miami this week because they are the darlings. They are the sweethearts right now. I assume everyone's going to be on Miami.
I totally agree with you, and that's what makes it pretty scary. If it's all going to go on Miami and it's staying at just over a touchdown tone, that's where you get a little dicey. Florida cannot be as bad as they were last week on offense. That's what I'm expecting. And if the money's that way, I think you got to take Florida plus the touchdown.
I just love that we got a nice Florida battle happening. Bunch of Florida boys battling in the southern tip of Florida, celebrating Florida football this weekend. That is kind of how I'm viewing it. DJ Lagway, you talked about high hypes. Yeah, I'd say. Him and Arch both.
Yeah, he's lucky.
Kind of coming into the season.
He's lucky right now.
Yeah, him and Arch both coming into the season had a lot of hype. Do we think they're dead? Like, do we think it's just going to take some time? Like, what are our thoughts? Because DJ Lagway last year, I think we all thought, holy hell, this is all turning around. Then to get a full offseason of him being the guy. So you would automatically assume we're going to get better here. Now, I'm not saying that LSU defense isn't fantastic. They are. I'm not saying, down in Baton Rouge, it isn't an incredibly difficult place to play. It is. Okay, I understand that. But that decision right there, I mean, there's just like a lot going on in decision-making as well as accuracy and like everything that's going into it. And I'm not saying Arch Manning isn't going through the same exact stuff. They're winning and everything like that, but since their first game. But he's got some accuracy issues and some decision-making issues that I don't think any of us expected. DJ Lagway, same exact thing with the whole offseason. Do we just think it's going to take a little? What are our thoughts here? Is that everybody else has a book on DJ Lagway as well, maybe?
I think it's a combination of things, Pat, but when you want to talk about Lagway specifically, this is where I was wary of Florida coming into the season. They made a big deal. They didn't lose a game. He started last year, but if you look close, he never started in an SEC road game last year. And now you combine that with last week, where they're off a loss, and now he goes into the best environment in college football. I didn't know how he was going to respond. And when you go back, all the timing, when you read all the local stuff, they were so irritated because they were like, this guy's got to practice with what we have on this schedule. He's got to get reps. And I think the lack of reps, you saw that, and then you compound that with that atmosphere, that defense, the play caller that LSU has on defense. You saw it. It was just a tidal wave. They couldn't slow down. One of those picks is in triple coverage going in. If he throws the check down, you're down 20-13. It's one possession game in the fourth quarter. So you could tell he was totally flustered. They kept showing Napier talking to him. But the other thing is Florida was supposed to have one of the best offensive lines, and they're not holding their end of the bargain. So it comes with protection. And, again, going back to that run game, Ball is a great running back, and they can't get him loose. I think it was 10 for 40. That's not good enough for the SEC, especially in Napier's offense. They have to be better around Lagway, and I think that goes the same for Arch. If you want to mention Texas, everybody else has to get better. When you look at Texas last year, the guys that made people miss. Texas doesn't have that. The lack of separation, O-line inconsistencies. That's been the biggest thing. I get it. Everybody's going to focus on the quarterback. To the end of time, we're going to do that in football. But the other guys got to come up and play better to help that situation.
Arch is going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Okay? Let the boy develop. Let the boy learn the game.
Sure.
Takes time.
Okay? We don't know. Any moment could be the time, though.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the conversation with that. I was, about DJ Lagway there. It's like, at what moment is the time? Do we think the time that he is full-fledged guy coming soon? Or do we think it's going to take a little bit? And then also, LSU, they might be for real.
They hit on transfers.
Oh, yeah.
LSU might be for real.
Transfers.
Those picks, number 10 there, I don't know his name.
Me either.
He was striding 2.5 yards
Moving
on that pick six. I mean, he was down the side. This is maybe the smoothest stride I've seen in some time. Give me that. And let me go ahead. Is he 6'5", that guy?
It's huge.
Striding, just casual striding.
They do have a 6'5" corner.
Yeah.
The
That
number one
might be
player.
him.
Tallest ever, right?
Yeah, tall
Is
enough.
that him? Jesus.
Deshaun
No.
Spears is his name. Is who made the pick.
Deshaun Spears, how
Let's get the Dams here.
we need to see how tall that guy. That was unbelievable. 6'3".
He's 208.
Okay, so we got a
Sophomore.
6'3", 208 guy, and then they got a 6'5" DB down there.
No fly zone.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and he's 6'3", but his upper body is only 2 feet. I mean, his legs have to be 4 feet.
He was striding there.
This the year for Brian Kelly.
That's what I'm saying. Like that looked what they did to DJ Lagway, obviously unbelievable. The home field advantage that they've always had. I think if you listen to them, they've always had. They just maybe haven't taken advantage of enough. It's like, is this the team for Louisiana?
The crazy part is their offense has not looked good yet. Like it didn't look good against Clemson, and we know, and Clemson is, are they even good right now? And it didn't look good last week against Florida. So like, and it's only going to get better. Like Nuss is a really good quarterback. The O line is the question mark because they brought in 4 new starters this year. So if that starts to gel, then yeah, the offense will be better, and then they'll as a team be great.
Offensive line seemingly the issue everywhere in football, by the way.
Yeah.
If you got one, you're good.
Figure it
If you
out.
don't, you're bad. Last question on this particular game. Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, Stanford Steve, are they still having Billy Napier call plays? And those conversations on the sideline, it feels like that's something that, should benefit the player, but clearly Lagway still didn't have any improvement throughout the game. Is there a chance that his seat is hot and then, or sorry, not that his seat is hot, you've already said that. Is there a chance they let him go mid-season if this continues to go, downhill and Lagway continues to play kind of subpar?
Yeah, it was, obviously the authority has all the info on that one, but it was interesting with that idea, Connor, the idea of letting your coach go this early and worried about guys who are jumping in the portal. From what I've read and heard this week is like at UCLA and Virginia Tech, those contracts the players have are like incentive-based and time-based. So like if they were to jump in the portal, they're not getting paid. So I think that's one good thing. Like you want to hear positives about this era, that helps, but it doesn't keep them from redshirting. That's where the idea gets a little hazy as far as the specifics. But yeah, I think if they were to,
Nico's going to redshirt here.
It could, yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what is so? Like stay on the team and
Just redshirt.
work out,
Yeah,
don't play, don't practice.
Yeah, you can play 3
Yeah.
games, right, or 4 games?
Yeah.
4.
4, yeah. So you get
Oh, that sucks.
might as well.
Man, school should have thought of. Nope, good for the player. Good for the player.
Good for the player.
If it ends up working out.
And good for the school. They have to
Future
play.
schools, though, definitely wait till after all the players can redshirt. Definitely wait until after that. Just something.
Real, yeah.
just
Might be
something
what
to
they
think
do.
about.
Might be what they do after this week.
Just something.
Seriously.
Certainly, Florida might do. Who knows? But just going forward, I think universities should think about it. Because if I'm a player over there and we suck bad, and I mean, it'd be impossible not to just be, I'll redshirt. Is that a possibility? Yeah. What do I do?
You're getting fired, right? Oh, okay. So I'm not going to play this year then because it's kind of a wash. I'm going to redshirt.
So why would, with everybody that would be talking to the players, everybody's going to tell them, you can redshirt this year. You just take a redshirt year this year if you want to. No problem. You're allowed to do that. Can't transfer. They still have to pay you. Take a redshirt year, blah, blah, blah. It's like, wow. They got to get that.
That's pretty good little
That-
little back door.
Yeah, they got to figure this whole thing out. You said you want to talk about positives in this era. There's a lot of interesting negatives that are certainly around the entire game as well.
I just wonder though, because you're talking right now, Vatek and UCLA specifically. How many people are calling? You're 0-3 with losses to New Mexico and Old Dominion, and like let's be realistic here. Like get yourself better. Let's start about worrying about that.
Oh, I like that. You might find yourself in a transfer portal with no home.
Yeah.
You might go from UCLA. You might go from UCLA to Mount Union.
Yeah.
Okay, or UCLA to Delaware. This might not be what you
Good
think
football
this is.
team.
Delaware is good, right?
Blue hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
One
did something
double A
this
powerhouse.
weekend. They
They
did something this
upset
weekend.
you.
Yeah, it's a good football team.
Oh, is that what happened?
11-point dogs.
We don't need to talk about
outright.
it. We got
Oh,
Florida.
I didn't
Miami.
know.
Come on,
I didn't
man.
know that's how that works.
Next
Okay, let's go to
game.
the next game. Yeah, good call, D-Bud.
Yeah.
That did happen, though, in college football.
That's insane. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Hens are-
UConn played Delaware?
Oh yeah.
Tough. New
Del-
England
Delaware's a
battle.
D1 team now.
Yeah, how much did UConn pay Delaware?
To lose?
It's a good question.
That's a great question. That's good business up there for the Delaware folks.
Same thing with like Florida, Miami, Florida State. Those guys know each other.
Same thing.
Familiar,
Go ahead. What's next day for Steve?
Big
G?
pregame speech, too.
Steve Butt always got it. I love it. We got to do Illinois at Indiana, 9 versus 19. 19 ranked Hoosiers are a 5.5-point favorite. Take that for what you want. What's really interesting is these quarterbacks, both transfers. Their numbers are almost identical. Mendoza, 55-76 for 708, 9 touchdowns. Altmaier, 56-78, 709, 8 touchdowns. First time these two teams are ranked and playing since 1950.
Whoa!
I look at it
58
almost,
matchups.
people want to already fast forward to the playoff. I don't see the loser being able to make the playoff. This is a monster game, Pat. When we talked earlier in the year about who's taking that next step to get that fourth Big Ten team into the playoff, these are definitely two candidates. This is a great matchup.
It's really close here, too. And you could feel the electricity in the air for this one. But you're talking about two teams that nobody would have predicted to be great at football 4 years ago. Kurt Cignetti and Bielema doing what they're doing at their respective schools is obviously a beautiful thing. I think Illinois has money, too. I think Illinois does have money behind them. I think they're going to continue to be able to be good in the transfer portal in the offseason with NIL and everything like that. And then you talk about Indianapolis. Kurt Cignetti had to completely reload his team, and he was able to do it. Now, he did feel a little bit of a pinch because they're trying to get good at basketball again. New coach comes in here. I did feel a little bit of a pinch. I had to go scratch some more backs of some boosters to do what we did last year. But I think he's been able to do that. I think both these teams are going to be good for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
Now, will one of them go on to be great? Like Indiana last year obviously was great. Makes it to the play, everything that happens with them. They lose, but still, nobody expected that. Will these teams continue to be good, or will both of them or one of them end up being great in another powerhouse in the Big Ten, which would be great for the entire conference, especially with where we're headed in the future? Tone, what are your thoughts on this game?
It's interesting because Illinois kind of gave me vibes of last year of like Oklahoma State and Virginia Tech because they had a bunch of returning guys, but they won like 6 one-score games last year. So was their record inflated? Maybe. But they looked really good against Duke. It was a close first half, but then they just absolutely throttled him in the second half. I think it was like 41-19, so they looked good there. That's a good road win. But IU, I think, is very similar to the IU team last year. Like, they brought back a lot of guys. They brought back an all-conference player at all 3 levels on the defense. And then Surratt and Cooper Jr., who you're watching score here now, those are the 2 leading receivers last year. So, like, and Mendoza's looked really good. They haven't played anyone yet, obviously. They didn't play anyone early in the season last year either. But the IU team looks similar to the IU team that I watched last year, in my opinion.
Steve, do you think it's fair to say, like, I know we have a lot of, like 5-star quarterbacks who are young in the Big Ten right now, I kind of want to smack myself for even saying this, but do Illinois and Indiana have the 2 best quarterbacks in the Big Ten?
Whoa, that's a good one. They're in the upper tier for sure. Ty, when you look at what they bring,
no, we want to know.
Yeah.
The best we want to know. Is it the best?
We're not predicting future either. So, like,
at this exact
right
moment.
now.
Right now.
A story just came out today that Luke Altmaier turned down, $3 million to go start at an SEC school because he wanted to stay at Illinois and, believed in Bielema and what they were building.
I love that.
I would say no.
Okay.
They don't have the 2 best.
All right.
I like what I've seen at Oregon and USC better.
Riley's offense, you're the one saying, hey, USC deserves a lot more respect than what they're getting. Finally ranked 25, I believe. You were saying they should have been ranked earlier in the season because of eyes watching them play ball. Let's get back to this particular game. Altmaier, Mendoza, both these teams have to win in your eyes to make playoff. Either of these teams have opportunity to win in playoff. You think whenever push comes to shove, either of these teams have enough talent to win whenever you're going to have to. Are either of these programs able to pay enough talent to win whenever you get to the top, which is what it is,
Yes.
A lot of coaches have said it. It is just a reality of the situation. You got to have dogs, or you got to create dogs in one season and ride them. And then in the offseason, they're probably going somewhere else.
Yeah, they're out.
So it's like it's either you get a group throughout a season that becomes elite at these schools, and I'm not saying it, and I don't want to put Illinois down or make Indiana feel down. this is the reality. This is West Virginia as well. If we have a guy that comes out of nowhere for our team, C.J. Donaldson.
Yes.
He's going to get paid to go to Ohio State. There's like 7 of these schools that have all the money. Everybody else just has to. I still think you can win, but you got to create that talent throughout the year, and then you got to hope, like Altmaier, they believe in the program. They want to stick around in this entirety. Do either of these teams, you think, have an opportunity to go ahead and win the whole damn thing with how they're constructed?
Not the whole thing, but they can make they can win a game.
Steve.
What do you
Not the whole
know?
thing.
A game would
Not
be
the
huge.
whole thing.
Okay, would be huge.
A win in the playoff is enormous for these teams like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. All right,
And possibly a home game on one of these campuses. That's
hey, welcome
Now
to
you're
the
talking.
North,
That's right.
SEC.
That's right.
You got to play Illinois in January.
Oh, so cold.
Yikes.
You kidding me?
Top 10.
Hey, congratulations. You're going to Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana. It'll be -3, and there'll be an Arctic chill.
Yeah, and
Good luck. Come out with your shirts off to prove that you're not cold.
Yeah.
That'll be the right play.
IU's incredible too. It's sweet, like them being good in like this state, especially with football being back in Indiana with the Colts. Steve, are they going to be doing this every single year? You think? Not just IU too. Like even Miami, their strategy now is just going to be, hey, we can bring in a guy every year at QB and just be great with this offense.
it's interesting. If attainable, yeah. Like Miami with Beck. When you go back and look at the top 10 preseason, they were the only team that went that route. Everybody else had their quarterback on the roster for more than a year. Altmaier, reading a thing this morning about Bielema, he said the conversation money never came up. So you could believe that if you want to. I have a hard time doing so. But I think so many teams did it last year and fell by the wayside, but then there are examples of success like Cam Ward at Miami that has an all-time season. So I think it's what you have on the roster. I still think the biggest factor that gets lost is the player development and high school recruits who get lost in the shuffle here.
Agreed.
So it depends what you have coming back, depending on what you're going to do at the quarterback position, Connor.
Cal, Songapolatelli.
They got the guy.
He's the one. 6'3".
So good.
Just
We need to get him out of Cal. Get him out.
Don't worry, it's coming.
All right,
Miami
Riverboat.
next year.
I don't know, man. They got a GM up there. They got
Yeah.
a lot of money up there, dude. They got a lot of money at Cal.
It'll be
Who's their
interesting.
GM?
Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera.
He knows ball.
Absolutely, he knows ball.
Guy's a Super Bowl champion.
He can see
Hell
greatness. When that Songapolatelli kid, he's got a 3.75 GPA. I looked it up. 3.75 GPA, 6'3". This guy, okay, and because when you watch him play, it's like this guy's got to be just all ball. This guy's got to be an absolute.
He's thick too.
Yeah,
Can move.
got size, can move.
And he's humble as shit. All of it doesn't really.
Hawaiian culture. It's good.
Yeah, he's an ooze.
He throws darts.
Yes, he does, and it's fun.
Yes.
And he's making guys open with his throws. The back shoulder, front shoulder throw that the guy was anticipating the back shoulder. I think it was week 1.
Week 1. Yep.
And instead he literally drops it front shoulder on the guy.
Yeah,
it's
no.
like that was a fucking 43-yard ball into a bucket on him. And that was just like his 9th straight completion or whatever to start his entire college career. It's like this dude is this guy's the one next offseason.
Yes.
I can't wait till West Virginia goes and says,
No, you got
aloha, Oos.
Yeah.
Mahalo for everything you're about to do for our state. You know what I mean?
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth every single penny forever. But he is basically bringing back late night football on Fridays and Saturdays too. Like the Pac-12 After Dark is what it was called. We need to come up with some new name.
Can't snooze. Like you literally can't snooze when Songapolatelli's playing football.
Can't.
It is very annoying actually. Sunday morning's coming. My daughter does not know that Songapolatelli is playing.
Long Sunday too.
Okay, she's sleeping through it somehow. Okay, I don't know how Mackenzie's sleeping through Songapolatelli playing football right now,
Unbelievable.
but she is, and I know that she is going to wake up, and I'm going to want to hang out with her because Sunday's like great morning to hang out with my daughter, really the only one. So I don't want to miss that. But as I'm watching this guy play, it's like
Have to stay up.
this guy's so good at football.
Can't miss it.
Definition of can't miss TV.
Yep.
Yes.
Must watch.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the next game. Stanford Steve, let's have a great college football weekend. They've been crushing it. College football has been crushing it.
Oh,
Yes.
And from literally 9 a.m. when we hop on TV all the way till 2 a.m. when Songapolatelli's done killing whoever the hell he's playing that way. It is. And Cal's schedule, they
can go.
They might be in a play. They might have a home playoff game.
They could.
They might have a home play. Anyways, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 21 ranked Michigan at Nebraska. It's been ugly the last couple times. The last 2 wins, as you see on the screen, Michigan has demolished Nebraska. And Michigan's last night, it's over a decade since they lost in Lincoln. Who's not a fan of Matt Rule? The question simply is it time for Matt Rule and the Huskers in that great fan base?
How do you feel about it? I think Matt Rule has been doing a lot, okay? Because I think he feels good about his team. He also has completely, seemingly opened his mind to Nebraska needs to market what we are. And the amount of times I see his facility, his office, their fans, their field, their players through social media, okay? Just through social media, I think has built the name brand back up to nowhere near maybe what it was at one point whenever they were in their heyday, but certainly nationally it has become a name that people respect and are also learning a lot about their history that maybe didn't know about it. So shout out to Matt Rule being as open as he is to do everything and filming as much shit and putting it out as he does and coming on our show every single Thursday. But they say third-year Rule is the one. Temple is the one. Baylor is the one. Is it going to be in Nebraska with another year with that offense with Raiola and Dana Holgorsen? Is the defense, the black shirts, going to be good enough to kind of handle everything they got up there in Michigan with Bryce Underwood in a grind and pound offense? What do you think, Tone?
If Nebraska, if they had the 2024 defense with this offense, with the 2025 offense, with second-year Raiola and Dana Holgorsen, I think I would take Nebraska in this one. But they gave up 200 rushing yards to Cincy in week 1, and that was the big thing. They lost 2 huge D tackles to the NFL this offseason. So, the question was, rush defense in the trenches, how are they going to hold up? And then Michigan looked like shit against Oklahoma's defense because of the trenches in the run game. They had the 175-yard run, but other than that, they had 70 total yards rushing. But what I saw from Cincinnati in that first game against Nebraska was Sorsby was running all over the place. They were running the ball. It just gives me some hesitancy on Nebraska this one, even though it is home. They do have the advantage there. Biff Pogge's going to be the coach, so there. What I like is that we did these 2 games back to back: Illinois, IU, Nebraska, and Michigan. There's the top tier in the Big Ten. It's obviously Oregon, Penn State, and Ohio State, and then there's that next tier, and it's those 4 teams that I just mentioned, and probably USC. So the losers of these 2 games this weekend, if the Big Ten wants to get a 4th team in the playoff, the loser of the Nebraska, Michigan, IU, Illinois game is going to have a hard time being that 4th team, and the winners are going to be in the driver's seat to potentially be that 4th team with USC. It's a huge weekend for them.
Tell me about Bryce Underwood, Steve. Tell me about him.
An absolute stallion when you see him in person. Being on the sidelines at Oklahoma, I was like, holy hell, he is that big. The arm strength is ridiculous. I just find it compelling, Pat, that when you see Underwood at Oklahoma, I get it. Monster situation, tough road game. They didn't really pull the trigger. They didn't really let him throw the ball. Now Pogge's involved and head coach. I wonder if there was a conversation to say, you know what, son, we're going to let you ball out here. We're going to run you. We're going to let you throw the ball down the field. Is there a little change there that could help him now on this next road start?
Sharon on the hot seat.
With Sharon not there, was he holding back a little bit? When you watch it, it's like, all right, this is why he was the number 1 guy with all the tools he brings to the table. And on the other side, I wonder if Nebraska going to so many 2 tight end sets now, does that play into Michigan and how well they could play defense? I thought Oklahoma did a good job of spreading Michigan out, making guys play in space. Nebraska has gone to a lot of tighter sets and made throwing lanes quicker for Raiola, which seems to me that they don't feel great confident in protecting him. So it feels like Michigan has the upper hand. And to Tone's point, that's what I see with Underwood. When you watch Sorsby in that opening game against Nebraska, he got loose, and Underwood is way more dynamic than Sorsby. So I totally expect Michigan to use the quarterback run involved in what's a monster spot. I was just in Ty's fan base rankings, where does Nebraska rank?
They're irrelevant. until they.
Yeah, right there. Yes, man. I saw it in the movie with Jim Carrey. They're out there like 2 hours before the game starts. They're filling that place up for a volleyball game.
I'm not saying they're not a great fan base. I'm saying in my mind, like I'm never losing any sleep about Nebraska until hey, if it's third year rule and they go this year.
But you're saying women's volleyball, you're certainly losing a little sleep for Nebraska.
I think Iowa's women's volleyball team fucking stinks. So I'm not. To be
honest, I'm not, they got a good team over there.
I'm not losing a whole lot of sleep. Nebraska's a fucking powerhouse, so I'm not losing a whole lot of sleep.
Okay, that's what we're talking about, though. And football team maybe back to being a powerhouse.
We'll see, because you know what?
Is Nebraska about to become the kings of the Midwest?
D-Boy, you know Nebraska football?
Well, I mean,
jeez.
I don't know.
What was that? Was that Governor?
I'm too young. I'm too young to remember that. Their heyday.
Governor down there.
That's Governor Jeff Land.
Governor Jeff Land.
You don't know what
You
we're
don't know
talking
nothing about that, do you?
Unbelievable. Hey, but back to this game, Steve. You talked about Underwood looking different in his offense, using his legs more. I would love to see him in a more spread out offense. I don't want to see him run the same offense J.J. McCarthy ran at Michigan. But going into this game, which quarterback do you trust more in their respective systems?
Good question.
Ooh, that's a very good question. As of right now, you would think Raiola. Just for what he's been asked to do. When you hear Holgorsen coming into this situation, he was blown away by what was on Raiola's plate last year as a freshman quarterback and all that he embraced in trying to get this team back to relevance. So he's looked super comfortable. The Cincinnati game, they did one of those. We're like Brian Kelly said last week against Florida. We played to win the game. That we were going to do what we had to do to win. We didn't care about statistics, the whole thing. And then they get that win against Cincinnati, and then they play some nobodies, and they run it all over and throw it all over. So do they have an extra, couple tricks in the bag for Michigan? Because I think they're going to need them. I think Michigan really matches up well. So it's kind of, obviously Underwood's ceiling is higher to me than Raiola. But right now, trustworthy at home in this game, I think you got to lean Raiola.
All right. We can't wait for that. What's the last game here we need to chit-chat about?
We got a quarterback going back to where he played last year, and that fan base is waiting for him. That's Auburn at Oklahoma. Jackson Arnold in new surroundings and those great Auburn uniforms has looked good. They got a really good win at Baylor to start the year. I didn't know what to expect from that game. And Arnold did it with his legs, designed quarterback runs, and I've said it multiple times. Give me a quarterback that could have succeeded in the circumstance in Norman last year. The offensive line and the lack of weapons was just insurmountable, and I thought he was in a no-win situation. So I know that fan base is jonesing because they obviously love their guy now more. When you talk about Mateer, coming in and doing what he's done in the Saturday night prime against Michigan. But to me, this comes down to Oklahoma's defense. We know what Venable's background is. Mason looks like he's going to be suspended for the first half because of targeting in the second half against Temple. But Oklahoma's defense is real. This is the best defense Auburn might face for the future time. I know they have a bunch of road games, but you see the stats. Total defense, scoring defense, pass defense. Oklahoma is real. They're at home. And you got to feel like this is a monster spot. Both these teams have monster schedules coming up. Yeah. But again, to that Indiana-Illinois point, the playoffs, the goal, I don't see the loser of this game being able to make the playoff. Wonder if you guys agree.
I will argue for Oklahoma all year after what we seen and learned about them whenever they played Michigan. Now, I know Michigan's not Michigan, but you think about a Venables defense, everybody historically in college football thinks it's good. Okay, everybody thinks the Venables defense is going to be good. I think it has been in Oklahoma when he's been there. They just haven't been able to be offense. Mateer and Arbuckle coming to town, already knowing each other, and being able to have the athletes and the weapons that they're able to have at this school as opposed to at Washington State or anywhere else. I believe in Oklahoma in a huge way. That was kind of my messaging to all the Michigan alums that I was talking to after this particular game when they were like, we were bamboozled. Everybody thought they were lied to that were Michigan fans because we were told this was we paid the most. This is we got
never going to lose again.
We're like that's what Michigan fans were like expecting coming into the season. I think because the high hopes for everything and as they should. But I think they were very bummed out because they thought this was like same old Venables Oklahoma. Like I can't believe we're losing to Oklahoma. They're not even in the conversation of the SEC. It's like I think this is I think this is Oklahoma. I think this is a new Venables, Oklahoma. I think this is a very good team. And I know you're talking about how everybody will talk about Mateer, but the defense should be chatted. Mateer needs to be talked about as well.
He does.
This guy is unbelievable. He's now the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. And I can't stress it enough how much of an advantage it is if you need a new offensive coordinator, okay, or a quarterback. Try to bring them together. I mean, it has worked for, I think it happened with Bo Nix whenever he went to Oregon. It happened with Michael Penix whenever he went up to Washington and ended up working.
Pavia.
Diego Pavia, it worked for him.
Dan Pierre at Utah.
Dan Pierre and his guy, it's the same one. It's like, it feels like you get such a head start, especially if it's a one-year type thing that you're trying to do with quarterback. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Pat, I meant to tell you, I went up to Arbuckle before the game on the sidelines, just introduced myself, hey, love what you're doing, the whole thing. And he just starts shaking his head. He's like, because I don't think he talked to his dad since, but he's like, I heard Pat met my dad. Oh, boy, I don't know how that conversation
He had a big-ass belt buckle.
Yeah, I wonder if he was wondering what time of day it was when you met Dad, like wondering if things were said that maybe shouldn't.
I knew that about the dad while I was talking to him. Yeah, I had met this man before. Okay, I knew his exact type whenever he came up to me. Great accent from Texas. Literally, I had my belt buckle on or whatever. And he goes, "Hey man, I'm something Arbuckle. I forget his first name." And he was like, Arbuckle's father, and I'm like, holy hell, your kid's killing it here, man. Congrats to you. And he goes, yeah, that's a nice belt buckle you got. It ain't like this one, though. Picked it up, and it was a steer wrestling. It was a steer wrestling champion. Wow. Like he was actual cowboy.
That's awesome.
He was doing some light ranching. And I literally, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, wow, you earned that one. The whole conversation. He had great, it was just like, he was a cowboy.
Yeah.
This guy was a cowboy. I've met this man before, and I assume he is great at hammering whiskey. If I had to guess, that it might be, a little bit of a judgment here, casting, but I feel like I've met this type of human before. There's only a few of them that are still around out there, but boy, are they a great time. And I wish I could catch him in the middle of a shit-talking session because it felt like he was awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Arbuckle boys. I am. And I also like that Mateer kid. I think Oklahoma's a perfect place for him. And their fans. Toby Keith's... Blindside came in. What's the?
What they play now?
What's the song? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's that song? We all know the words of the song.
Right. And they just changed that like this year, didn't they? It was like
last
last year. Yeah, right after Toby Keith died.
My daddy.
My dad has served in the
army too. He still flew a flag out in the yard until the day that he died. My mama, my brother, my sister, and me. In the land of the free. Yeah, that whole song. Their entire game day audience sang that thing through an entire break, word for word through an entire.
Sweet.
I'm like, holy fuck, we're in America out here. We are out here. It was cool vibes. They are yearning for a great team.
Oh yeah.
Looks like they got him. And Steve, we're lucky and thankful you do this every week, brother. We'll see you down in Miami.
Sounds good.
Coral Gables.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
175 degrees.
That's all right.
It's all right.
Put me in the roaster. Is that what it is? Or the steamer?
Yeah, steamer.
Put me in the steamer. What do they do with meat? What are you putting meat in when it sits there for a long?
Broil it.
The crock pot?
Yeah, crock pot.
yeah.
Yep.
Said down in a crock pot down there in Miami.
Yep.
Said down in a crock pot down there.
Hopefully you get a breeze.
Yeah, just think of the days that are coming. You need to mentally put yourself in flash freeze, Indiana, February when you're down there.
You're right.
Remember the last time we were in Miami?
It was cold.
Cold
as
shit.
shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Ice on the roads.
That was Texas.
That was Texas. You're right.
That was the day after.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
same thing, though.
All right,
Texas.
Steve, we'll see you down there. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, stand for Steve.
Yeah, Steve.